Good morning, everyone. I'm going to move this over a little bit. I wanted to start with something funny. I went to, how many of you knew Marty Wing? She was a dear friend of mine. She's in she and Denise and I were in a trio together called Shine. And she always told jokes before. I don't know if you remember, she's just famous for her jokes. So when we were at the memorial, of course, we told some jokes in honor of Marty because she did that. So there's a second grader, and he comes home from school one day and he says, "Hey, Mom, we learned how to make babies today." And Mother's like, oh, you did? So tell me, how, and you're in second grade, how old are you, 7? You're 7, so she's like, oh, really? Honey, how do you make babies? And he goes, oh, it's simple. You just replace the Y with an I and add ES. Out of the mouths of babes. Isn't that the most interesting thing? So today, my talk is, how does your garden grow? And it is specifically related to my crazy little garden that's growing. And I was going to show pictures, but I'll show them afterwards if you want to see. So I have an above ground vegetable garden that I built. I was so proud of myself. I built it a year ago, actually 2 years ago during COVID, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to make myself resourceful and I'm going to build this garden. I got all this information of how you do it. I laid it on the ground, so I had the right stuff on the bottom. You put cardboard on the bottom, and you got the bricks, and you got the dirt, the right soil mixture with fertilizer, et cetera, et cetera. And so I had this beautiful garden growing, and I had lettuce, and I had some spinach and some zucchini, and I was so excited. I kept taking pictures every day and showing everybody. I'm like, I can hardly wait for all this time. And then I went out one day and it was all dead. And I'm like, what the heck happened? So I have no idea. So I, took it all out and I thought, oh, jeepers, because it got hot. And I thought, well, maybe it was the heat. Maybe I overwatered. Maybe it was this. Maybe you can't ever figure it out. So, and get the drift that this is an analogy about life, right? So sometimes we don't know what's going on in our experience or why something happened. But sometimes we don't always have to know why. We just have to know what we actually desire rather than what's happening, right? So at any rate, I decided this year, I said, well, I'm going to make it happen this year. I'm really going to make it happen. So I had gotten some seeds, and I dug in the soil, and I knew the soil was good. It was organic soil. It was all this great stuff, and I thought, this is perfect. It's the perfect medium for my seeds. So I put the seeds in and was all excited, but as I dug in the soil, it was a little bit hard to dig in the soil, and I thought, well, that's kind of interesting. So I did, and I covered it, and I watered, and everything was wonderful, and I noticed the water wasn't going down so well, and I thought, well, that's okay. That's all right. It's been quiet soil for a while. So I came back the next morning and I stuck my finger in the soil. It was bone dry. And I thought, well, what is going on? So I thought, well, I better dig a little deeper. So as I dug, I started to realize there was all this thatch. I don't know if you know what that is, but it's a bunch of little spidery like little roots. So as I dug, I kept digging, and now my garden is about that deep. So I start digging with my little hand trowel, and I realize as I'm digging deeper and deeper, I'm like, my God, this whole thing is covered with all these webs of weird roots that aren't allowing my seeds to take plant. So I said, okay. So as I kept digging and digging and digging, well, like 4 hours later, I've now dug to the bottom and all the dirt's out. And I'm like, okay, I guess I have to start from the beginning again. So I went and got more organic soil, more fertilizer, da-da-da-da-da. All the seeds went to hell in a handbasket because they went out with the dirt. So then I had to replant all new seeds. And I got some little things, and I'll show you pictures. So now I've got little beans that are about 4 inches high, and I've got some zucchinis that are about this big. Well, zucchini plants. And then I did have lettuce, but some critter ate it. I was so excited, it was about 1 inch high, and it started to, just peak, and somebody came by and ate that. So I said, I hope you enjoyed it. So I thought, it's such a metaphor for life. Sometimes we have the right idea, right? We have the right seed that we want to plant. But sometimes the medium from which we're planting is not ready to receive that seed for whatever reason. And the medium for us in this teaching, when we think about it, is our thought, is our life, is our, are you ready to receive the thing that it is that you desire? Are you putting it in, what kind of soil are you providing? What kind of experience are you providing to say, I desire this thing, but then you're filled with maybe negative thoughts from the news, or you're mad at your ex, or you don't like your job, or you see big goose egg in your bank account, or whatever it is. And so the soil isn't ready to receive that new seed because you haven't prepared that soil correctly. Does that make sense? So a lot of times we may say, I've done all the prayer, I've done the work, I've done the stuff, I've read every book known to man, and it's just not working. Well, sometimes it's important to go back and think, what is it that how am I living right now? How am I feeling? Am I saying that the only way for my life to be successful is that everything has to go my way? I'll be happy once I get this. I'll be happy once the job comes through. I'll be happy once I have the relationship. I'll be happy once I'm done with my divorce and the papers are all signed. Or I'll be happy once I buy that house, right? And the idea in this teaching is to say, to be present where you are and to appreciate your life as it is. Has anybody ever had like a physical challenge that really kind of shocked you and woke you up and you went, life is short? Anybody ever have that? When you have that feeling, that is such a gift from the universe, isn't it? Because that gift says, appreciate every moment that you're in. Appreciate every person that's in. I have God bumps when I'm saying that, so I get it. Appreciate every moment, even the ones that feel sticky, that feel icky, that the people that bug the daylights out of you. Appreciate those moments and don't let anything out there rob you of your peace, rob you of your contentment of life, rob you of your joy. And so the charge for each of us is to just be in joy, no matter what. No matter what's going on, guess what? We're above ground, we're breathing, we're healthy, we're happy. You know what? We may not have everything we want, but guess what? It can just turn into, rather than saying, all right, I demand that in order for me to be happy, I need this. No, just make it your preference. I would prefer that I had this, but for right now, I'm going to be happy right where I am. And what happens when you do that? The whole universe opens up. Because all of a sudden, you're now ready to receive. You're not demanding. Because this is such an interesting, it's such an oxymoron, that when the moment that we make a demand on the universe, like a real demand, like in order for me to get where I'm going, I need this, right? The moment we make that demand, it comes from a place of lack. You're actually saying that you're in lack when you say that you need this in order for your life to work out. The charge is to just be content right where you are, know what you want, know what you desire. Absolutely, it doesn't mean we don't desire things, but it's not a requirement for our joy and our contentment in life. Do you feel the difference? I wrote out before a couple, I'm going to take this little staple out because it's not going to help me at all. Carefully take that out. If my cat were here, he would chew this out. My cat, all of a sudden, he is so attracted to staples, I cannot tell you. He likes to chew on them, and all of a sudden, my documents are all over. I'm like, what happened here? So we make ourselves a vibrational match for the thing that we desire. And so what the heck does that mean? It means that, and we'll learn more about it on Saturday, on the weekend workshop as well, is that it means that we're all energy. And the moment that you're in the energy of contentment, of I'm in this place and all is working out well, the moment you do that, you become a vibrational match for the thing that you desire. But the moment you come from need, it's like two magnets going the same way, and they're not going to work together. You're not going to magnify what it is you want because you're coming from lack. It sounds so kooky. So it's like knowing what it is you want, desiring what it is you want, but being at peace about, you know what? Life is good. Right where I am, life is good. It can get better, and I'll know it to be better, and I'll desire it to be better, but I'm not going to need it and require it. So it's once you're the vibrational match, what happens is you come from your dream rather than saying, in order for my life to be happy, this dream has to happen. You're coming from that place already of, I know this is all working out perfectly. Just affirm with me right now. The power of God is my power. And it is activated by my thought and by my feeling. And so I activate it now to create the ideal life for myself. And it's happening now. And I can hardly wait to see all the good that this is going to bring. And it's here now. And so it is. Feel that? So it's just, sometimes it's just making statements to ourselves rather than saying, oh, you know what, we're all experts at saying what isn't working in our lives. And somehow, I don't know about you, but some of us have gotten the idea that if we just constantly go, this isn't working and that isn't working and da-da-da-da-da-da-da, we think that we're going to exit it out of our body and then things are all going to come together. But it doesn't work that way. How it works doesn't mean you deny the stuff, but you say, oh, isn't that an interesting feeling I'm having right now? However, I am knowing my truth, and I am knowing that there's a power in the universe that supports my thought and my feeling. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get into the feeling of I have it. I already have it. I already know it. I'm already creating it. It's already here. And the moment we do that, everything shifts to bring it to us so that we receive it. So it's knowing not only that you're coming from your dream, but knowing that you are actually, it makes it happen just by your thought. It's already happening. We've emptied out the library and there's a bunch of old books, and I am a book fanatic. So I have a bunch of books. A lot of them are very old, so I've been reading through them all. Not all of them. I mean, not cover to cover, but I'll open up the book and go, all right, universe, what do I need to hear today? Do you ever do that? You open the book and it speaks right to you. You go, jeepers, they're reading my mind here. So I open the book, and there's this guy, and let me get his name right. I love his name. Daniel Boone Herring. What a name, huh? Daniel Boone Herring, 1931. And he has one condition for demonstration. So this is at the beginning of Ernest Holmes. I don't know if they knew each other or what, but he was in divine science, okay? So he says, deal only and always with the one supreme superlative intelligence, just as Jesus did when he sought out the kingdom. So he says, you're believing that the thing that you desire is already present, right? So the moment that you're in prayer, you're not saying, oh God, please bring me this. You're saying, I know this is mine, just like Emma Curtis Hopkins says, my good is mine and I ought to have it. But you're saying, I know this exists, and it not only exists out there, it exists for me right here. And I'm knowing it right now. But one of the things that I've discovered is an important thing to do is you have to get into, you know what, there are some little nooks and crannies in our subconscious that we may not even know about. So you say, guess what? My word right here and now dissolves any subconscious, subjective, subversive, sub-whatever thought that I may be holding that's holding me back from creating that experience in my life. Do you feel that? So you're letting go of whatever the thing. Sometimes we don't have to ferret out everything that's going on in our experience. We just have to know what it is we desire, align with that oneness, stay in peace with that, and stay centered on that, and boom, things happen. Anybody ever experienced that? And guess what? When you try to explain that to folks that maybe are outside of this teaching or outside of this sanctuary or, not embracing a new thought idea, they go, that's impossible. And you go, yeah. And you know what I say about impossible? It's I'm possible. I'm possible. Because they'll look at you and say, That just happened by accident. You did not, no, your thinking did not create that. Well, guess what? When we get in the flow of creating what it is that we desire, it means that we have to let go of some things, doesn't it? My little thing is, in order to gain prosperity, you have to lose your sense of lack. In order to gain wealth, you have to lose your sense of poverty. In order to gain friendship, you have to lose your sense of loneliness. In order to gain peace of mind, you have to lose your sense of discord, right? So whatever it is that you're facing, you have to be willing to let go of its opposite, because embracing and holding on to its opposite is what has created the condition in your life. So you say, how do you get out of this pickle that you're in? Well, guess what? You got yourself into the pickle. So go back and say, where did my thinking go askew, and what can I do to shift that thinking? And it's just a matter of God is, I am. And the moment you say I am, it's not I am Reverend Mary Morgan. It is I am the divine spirit. I am the I am. I am the allness of God created in me as me. And that allness knows no restriction. I may know restriction, but God doesn't know restriction. So see, we don't go to God with our problem and say, Jeeps, I'm just having such a struggle here. God doesn't even hear that. God's already with you going, oh, I know the best for you already. So let's get on board. Let's get on board. So the moment that we get into that idea that, wow, everything's created, think back about the soil in my garden. I have to create the proper receptive area in order to receive the seeds. Because those seeds that I had to throw out, they were great seeds. Everything was perfect, but I didn't put it in the right medium. So if my thoughts are like, oh, I'm so preoccupied with the evening news and Biden's off doing the all the stuff on Europe, and oh my goodness, all this stuff is going on, and I heard about AIs and they're going to take over the world, and Bill Gates came out and said, I thought, oh my gosh, wait a second. We almost go down that rabbit hole, don't we? Of like, we get into the awfulization of things. And the moment we do that, our energy level shifts. And the moment our energy level shifts, it affects our thoughts. And then what happens? We embed it in that soil, and that's the seed we've planted. And then we wonder why we get more of the stuff, the yucky stuff. And what it is we go back and say, no. I'm going to quiet myself. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to appreciate I'm alive. I'm going to appreciate, wow, like earlier when I was saying, if you've ever faced a challenge, if you've ever faced like a real financial challenge or a real health challenge or something that really rocks your world where you stop and go, holy cow, I could be gone tomorrow. I could step off a curb and be hit by a car or something. It's like, I better appreciate where I'm at right now. Appreciate what's going on right here and now. So the moment that I do that, and I say, no, I'm going to be quiet. I'm going to be still. I'm going to know there's power and presence moving through me, and I'm going to allow that peace to move through me. The moment I do that, I just take a breath, and I can be calm, and I can know that truth. And then you've created this wonderful receptive area to receive the seed of new thought. And all of a sudden, things will happen. I love billboard signs. They work brilliantly. And again, now they moved the billboard sign that I used to see going that way down Sepulveda, whichever direction that is. But now it's this way. And it's a billboard sign that says, what's missing? And then over here it says, you. And I went, oh. It's a Roto-Rooter sign, but that could be very important too. Like, okay, maybe I got to clear the pipes out. Clear the thinking pipes out, right? So what's missing you? Sometimes I'm missing in my own life. I don't know about you, but are you? Sometimes I'm on automatic pilot, and I kind of go through the motions. I go, wait a minute. I'm going to breathe this in. I'm going to feed my birdies in the little bird feeder. I'm going to be so happy that they made a little nest there. I'm going to be present to that. And it's about being present in each moment and just appreciating every single thing and knowing, God, how blessed. I have a little necklace that says blessed, and I touch it every day to remind myself, I am so blessed. And the moment that we acknowledge that, the energy shifts. Everything shifts. I wanted to quote another gentleman, and this Daniel Boone Herring. I have to keep reading his name. It just cracks me up every time. He calls his prayer treatment, he calls it psychic surgery. And he says that what he does is he releases and uncovers the thoughts in his mind that have been holding him back. He doesn't chastise himself for it. He doesn't analyze the heck out of them. He doesn't, oh, woe is me, and now what am I going to do? He doesn't do any of that. He just says, oh, isn't that interesting? Now, I've given my name, mind surgery, not psychic surgery, mind surgery. And he says, it fits my work. And he says, the student comes to me to be freed from the picture that's indelibly in their mind. And he goes, I don't hang on to the picture someone told me. I just hear, oh, isn't that interesting? You have that interesting picture. So I had an interesting picture of my garden not working out. And I thought, well, isn't that interesting? Well, that's not the picture I want to keep in my mind. I want to picture a thriving garden. So instead, I looked at a bunch of pictures of thriving gardens. And I said, that's what I'm going to keep in my mind here. And then I bought a little beach umbrella for it so it doesn't have too much sun. And I go out and I talk to the plants every day, and I'm doing all this stuff. And I said, you know what? This is what we do. It's like we interact, we give energy. I'm a tree hugger. Any tree huggers out there? I go out and hug my tree every day. So I go out and I talk to the tree. I'm talking to the lilies of the Nile. I'm talking to everybody that's blooming and those that aren't blooming. I say, get with the program. So he enters into a conscious oneness with the power within him. And then he includes the student, his student in that. And he says, you know what? I'm going to know for you this truth. Now, guess what? We can do that with ourselves every day. Just say, I'm going to know the truth for myself today. And it's important to start out your day with a beautiful meditation or prayer or an affirmation, whatever it is that gets you into that vibration of life is wonderful. Isn't this wonderful? I don't care what your conditions are. You just keep affirming life is wonderful. And the moment you do that and you get into that energy, life will be wonderful. And you'll be growing all kinds of zucchinis and little squashes and little green beans and stuff like that. And they're known as wonderful outpicturings in your life of all kinds of great things. And so that's today's message. Thank you. All righty, and this is the time of our sharing. And so I invite you to take your gift in the palm of your hand, and let's know together. Divine love consecrates my gift. It goes forth to heal, to bless, and to prosper all those who give and all those who receive. I rejoice in the sharing of my good, and I release my gift with love. And so it is. And now we're going to do a little guided meditation, if you're open to that. And do we have some music? Okay. Did you just call me a short person, Grant? Grant wears many hats here. Let's give our guys in the back a big hand. Thank you for everything you do. Thank you. I'm going to sit down here. And while we're waiting for the music, let's breathe in. And just get calm and allow the chair to support you. And if you can, uncross your legs and your arms so that you're just this open circuit. And first, let's do some grounding exercises. So I want you to picture, as you're breathing in, picture that beautiful oxygen coming up through the bottom of your feet and moving up through your feet and your heel and your ankles and your knees and up through your thigh into your pelvic area, up your spine, your shoulders, your neck, out the top of your head, and then picture that oxygen circling back around. And this time, see it going deep into the earth, way down into the earth. And picture that breath coming up now from the very depths of the earth, this beautiful, rich, oxygenated breath coming up through the bottom of your feet. And you can feel it like scrubbing bubbles going through your body, through your feet and your ankles and your knees and your hips, up your spine. And as it's doing so, just see it scrubbing bubbles all through your body, taking with it anything that is unlike your perfection in health, in ideas. And see that breath now go out the top of your head and go way into the morning sky. And now for one last time, see it circle down and go through Mother Earth, go very deep this time, very deep to the center of Earth. And as you're breathing in that beautiful oxygen, that beautiful air, this time as the oxygen comes up into your body, see it turning on all the lights in every little cell in your body. Every little one, just like little fireflies going through your body, little lights in all the cells just being invigorated and enlivened and lit up with energy and energized with this sense of vitality and well-being and goodness and love. And as it moves up, see it in your spine, going up every vertebrae in your spine, and your shoulder and your neck, and just release over to that light anything that might have been stopping or blocking you. And it's pulling from your body anything at all that does not belong to the truth of who you are in being, in form, and in spirit. And so it goes out the top of your head, and now see it get pulled way out into the universe, pulling with it anything that's unlike you and truth. And then see that get transmuted into this beautiful light. See like fireworks out in the universe, just exploding into and creating whatever it pulled from you. It transmutes it into the light that it actually is as well. And now just find yourself breathing here in complete peace and comfort. And as you breathe in, you just feel this vibrant, bright light around your body. See that light growing, this golden white light all around your body. Stay in that energy. Feel that power. Feel that light. And let's take a short little trip. And I want you to look down at your feet, and they can be barefooted or you can be in sandals, but whatever it is, you're very comfortable and you're walking. I love to walk through tall grass. So we're walking through some beautiful, cool, tall grass that's just blowing in the wind very gently. And you can see that grass and that beautiful blue sky, white puffy clouds. And through the grass you can see just butterflies and see little birdies, little flowers blowing. Everything's wonderful. There's a beautiful fragrance in the air. And as you're walking through this grass, it takes you into the path of a beautiful treed area, just a lovely light grove of trees. And you can hear the leaves blowing in the wind, and it's a gentle breeze, and there's little animals. There's a little skunk. There's a little possum. There's some squirrels. There's an owl up in the tree. There's some deer right over there. Wonderful little animals, just they came out to greet you. And you came out to greet them, like to embrace your natural self, the nature of yourself. And as you look on this path, you see a beautiful light being coming towards you. And it feels familiar. And as you see this being's face, she does look familiar to you. And you have this wonderful sense of well-being in her presence. And she embraces you with her arm, and you walk together, and you greet each other. And she mentally, telepathically asks you, is there anything that you'd like to let go of? Is there anything you'd like to release? You think about it a moment. And you share with her what it is you'd like to release. And now picture a symbol of what that thing would represent. Is it something you've written on a piece of paper? Is it a symbol of a bird to release the freedom that you can soar? Whatever it is, think of a symbol that you'd like to offer to her. And she has a basket with her. And she says, just put whatever it is in this basket. And as you do so, feel the sense of freedom that you feel now that you've surrendered that and let that go. Just breathe into that feeling. And as you continue to slowly stroll, she says, now is there something you'd like to receive in your life? What is it you're ready to receive? What would you desire? What would you like to create? And let her know and feel that. Feel what that feels like to have that desire. And what would it feel like if that situation were created in your experience? What does it feel like? And now she says, I have another basket here. I'd like you to pick out of the basket a symbol of what that would represent. It can be anything. It can be a flower. It can be a butterfly. It can be a signed contract. It can be anything that you want. It could be a doctor's report saying perfect health. Whatever it is that you desire, just see that in your hands right now and feel the energy of what that feels like to have that in your experience right now. Just breathe into that. And then magically, everything, the basket, the symbols, they all disappear. And you're here with the Spirit. And she reminds you that she is actually part of you. That wise, higher self of you that you can access anytime, any moment that you desire. And so you feel this connection, and you feel this sense of peace and wellness right here, right now. And it's something that you carry with you now. And so your spirit guide reminds you that anytime you want to, you can tap in and call, and she will be present because she's always present. And so in the moment, you bid farewell, you thank her, and you bless each other for this beautiful awareness and awakening. And then you turn on your path, And it's as though all the little animals have come even closer. You feel this special kinship with them. A little bunny crosses the trail. A little hawk flies through the area. There's a blue jay making noise. All kinds of birdies. And as you walk on the trail, you know something has shifted in you. Something has changed. Something so simple, so simple. And you are at peace. You feel calm. And most especially, you feel loved. You feel loved and presence. And in that presence, you realize how special life is, how important you are to the world, and how magnificent life is, right as it is right now. And so slowly now you're back in the tall grass, and you're feeling it against your legs, and you see the little butterflies. There's a little hummingbird over there. And it's just this beautiful feeling. And slowly but slowly, you find yourself back in the room. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes. Okay, welcome back. How was it? Yeah? I could feel that grass. My legs were itching a little. That's a good thing. Vivid imaginations. Okay. So this is the time of questions or prayer treatments. Is there anyone that has a question or prayer treatment that they would like? No one? My goodness, the sky's the limit. Yes.
I just want to remind everybody about the gardening club that I wanted to start up.
Okay.
Tuesday mornings at 11.
Here's a microphone for you.
Tuesday mornings at 11, garden club.
Perfect.
Headed
All
off.
right.
Okay, thanks.
And share
That's
your
all.
name with us, please.
Cheryl.
Cheryl. Okay.
Yeah.
See Cheryl for Garden Club.
There's a sign-up sheet out there, and we'll just plant flowers all around the place every Tuesday morning at 11.
Fantastic. Okay. And then there's a gal over here that has her hand up. Yes.
Hi, Mary. This
Hi.
gal's name is Pauline.
Hi, yeah. The light's shining, so it's so hard. Yes.
Oh, okay. I just wanted to say two things. One is I love to garden, and I love your story about your garden.
Thank you.
But
Great.
you left me in a mystery. What did you do about the thatching, all the roots underneath?
Oh, I dug it all out.
Oh, you did?
I dug
Okay.
it all. I had to get rid of all that dirt. I had a big tub, 17 tubs of dirt. I took to the
God,
trash
what a
thing.
workout.
Yes, it was huge. It was like I got my workout that day. But it was, you
Yeah.
know what? It was a very interesting. Each trek I made I was going, isn't this interesting? And I really felt like as I was dumping that dirt in the bin, I thought, wow, I'm getting rid of some stuff, aren't I? I love it.
Ooh,
Getting rid of
very
all that old
symbolic.
stuff that has roots that hang on to you, like old people that piss you off, stuff like that. I felt like I'm getting rid of all those. So it was
Therapeutic.
good. It was good.
That's great. And the other thing I wanted to say is I think when we visualize, a situation or something that we want to attract into our life, it is so important to always have the thought, if not this, something better. Because
Sure.
I
Yes.
visualized something so completely 100% that was so important to me once, and it didn't work out. And I was crashing down from 1,000 feet. So it's always good to keep in the back of your mind, if not this, something better.
Sure, absolutely. And did something better come to you? after the first thing didn't work out?
Yes, yes.
Isn't that always the way?
In a roundabout later kind of way, but yes, absolutely.
I remember one time I was in a relationship that went south, and I was totally smitten and the person wasn't. So I thought, oh, God, what could I have done? You know, it's like jeepers. You know, what happened here? Because you're on a different wavelength, right? And my friend said to me, did you ever think that the answer to your prayer was that that guy disappeared and dumped you? I went, oh, okay, I feel empowered now. Because think about it, that could be the answer to the prayer as well. You know, sometimes we pray for something and that may not be the best thing for us. So something new comes along that is even better than we could have. Many times it's always better than we could even imagine.
Yep.
Because God has a knowingness that we don't have.
Yeah, that's what happened.
Yes,
Thank you, Mary.
Thank you. Anybody else? No prayer treatment? Yes, oh, I'm sorry.
Hi,
Yes.
I'm a little shy. My name is Maureen, and I seem to keep physically manifesting like torn shoulders and surgeries. I've had like 6 shoulder surgeries and breaking bones and getting illnesses, and I know it's me attracting all that, and I just was wondering if I could get a prayer treatment to release the need to, I don't know what need, but to attract illness or injury into my life, and to also to heal whatever's going on that is manifesting physically.
Perfect. Okay, Maureen. And just as an aside, remember when things happen in our experience, it's very important that we don't beat ourselves up about it and go, I know I'm a bad dog. Excuse me, Mary Lou. Yes, a bad cat, we'll say. Mary Lou has doggies. I'm getting punished for this. Don't think like that. Just say, you know what? Isn't this interesting? What is the gift in this? What is the message that this has that's trying to wake me up to healing? Don't make yourself the bad guy for something happening. Just say, oh, isn't this interesting? And now I'm ready to shift that. So it sounds like, Maureen, you would like a prayer treatment for perfect health and perfect awareness and a new shift in your consciousness. Is that correct?
That would be great.
Okay.
Thank you.
All righty. So let's just know together, okay? Let's take a deep breath in. God, by means of me, is the only power that exists. This God power is my divine essence. It is what I am made of. And I'm speaking this word for Maureen, and I say it in the I am. And that I am is the presence of God in and through me and in and through Maureen. And this prayer also goes out to all those in need for healing and health. God and I are one. I declare right now my perfect health. I declare by means of my thought, by means of my feeling, by means of my awareness, by means of my consciousness, by means of my subconsciousness, that the picture of health is mine. The outpicturing of my ideal body, every cell, atom, muscle, bone, all are in harmony together, working together, strengthening together, and I am knowing right here and now my ideal health manifesting. In this prayer and by this spoken word, I know that whatever ill thoughts, out of sort thoughts, thoughts that are not in alignment with my perfect health are released from my experience, from my consciousness, from my subconsciousness, never to return again. Every atom, cell, bone, muscle, aspect of my life, my body, my spirit hears this prayer and knows this to be true. I am the perfect picture of health. Health is realizing in my experience right now and is the only thing that I know. I am directed to the right doctors. I'm directed to the right thoughts. I'm directed to the right books. I'm directed to the right uplifting everything to bring my experience into this new awareness as I shift my consciousness out of the old thinking and I embrace this new healing, healed thought. God is and I am, and the power of God moves through me, creating this experience now. I now surrender over anything that might be stopping or blocking me, any belief that might have held me back, any fear that more bad stuff is going to happen. And I let it go, and in its stead, I know I am filled with joy. I am filled with health. I am filled with vitality and zest, and I am enlivened and invigorated by a new thought that I am the perfect outpicturing of health, and my life is filled with joy. And that is creating right here and right now. And so by this spoken word, I know that I have declared the law in motion. And that law of mind is already creating the divine experience that I desire. And so I keep my thoughts up, I keep my energy up, I keep my love permeating all things. And I know this to be true for myself. Releasing this with such gratitude, knowing it's already done right now. Releasing this into that law, together we say, and so it is. Okay, all righty. Yay. Okay, everyone, thank you so much. Have a wonderful, you have your hand up? Yes. We have another, if we could have the microphone, please. Yes. Oh, no, we got it.
Hi, my name is Gretel.
Hi.
A few weeks ago, you talked about cleaning your house,
Cleaning
up
my
your
house, yes.
And it made you feel wonderful.
What did I say about cleaning my house?
That you had more room now.
Oh,
to
yes.
To get rid of things.
Oh,
you didn't
yes,
need anymore.
absolutely.
Well,
Yes.
I don't feel that way. I'm getting rid of stuff too, but I'm getting rid of stuff. I used to fly for many, many years. I'm getting rid of stuff I love.
Could you speak into the microphone a little bit?
Sorry,
Yes.
sorry. And I'm getting rid of stuff I used to buy in Africa, in Hong Kong. I have a problem doing it. And one of the problems is I am preparing for death. That's how I feel. You were happy and free in getting rid of your things, but I don't look at it that way. I'm getting rid. I feel it's just a part of getting ready to die.
I'm sorry, you feel?
That I'm getting rid of things. It's just a way to get ready to die.
Get ready to die.
I don't like it.
Well, Greta, I have news for you. None of us get out of here alive. Right? So sometimes, Michael Singer wrote in his book, we need to live as though we're going to die. So it's an interesting thing that's getting brought up for you. And I'm sorry you feel like that by letting go of stuff, it means you're getting ready to die. But maybe just explore, maybe just shift that thought a little bit. Like, so for me, and believe me, I'm a clothes horse. My sister and I are clothes horses, and it's terrible. I can't let go of a top that I've owned for like 30 years. Because I'm like, oh, they don't make things like this anymore. It's like, oh my Lord, are you listening to yourself? But the deal is those things have attachments to us, right? So you don't have to get rid of things that you love, but sometimes if we clutter clear, right, the cluttering kind of holds us. Do you know what I mean? It's like stepping in glue. So we rid ourselves of the things that like hold us back or hold us down. But if the things that you love, like your belongings from Africa, are not holding you down, don't feel like you're clearing it out like I've got to get ready to die. And then ask yourself, what's making you want to live? Did you ask yourself that?
And remember the law of circulation.
The law of circulation, she points out, yes. But so think about it. Rather than say, oh, I'm getting ready to die, say, no, I'm getting ready to live. I'm clearing stuff out. You may get a roommate. You may get a new, I don't know what your marital status is, but you may get a new partner or something. You know what I'm saying? Like, what great thing, just clearing it out. Like, there was an impetus for you to want to clear out, and it can't be just because I needed to clutter clear and I inspired you. So think about it. What made you want to clear out? And then know that's something in you that's calling you to say, let go of some of this stuff.
Yeah,
Right?
It means a lot to me, the way I smuggled it
Speak a little louder, please.
Everything means something to me. I don't really have clutter. Everything means something to me.
Yes.
Fortunately, I have found some wonderful people
Here.
to give it to, and they appreciate what I offer them.
Yes.
And the best part was I sent my fur coats to Peter.
There you go.
That was my happiest. That was my happiest part. And Peter, I had this fox coat. And Peter, and I said, "What are you going to do with it?" And they said, "Well, we sometimes have small foxes. We're going to put them in their shelter. We're going to put the little foxes on them, and they may think it's their mother."
Well, see, look how
I started
beautiful that
crying.
is. See, you're doing some beautiful things.
Yeah. So that made me feel good.
Good.
There's other stuff where I smuggled that out of under the, whatever. So it's just memories.
Got it. And then, so bless those memories, thank them,
Yeah,
and you don't lose the memories when you lose the thing.
true.
You still have the memories because they're a part of who you are. They're part of your fabric now. That's a
Yeah,
part of
that's
who you've become. So, it's to shift the saying. And Dr. Sharon, I think, has something to say here. So, what would you like to say? Yeah, no,
You know,
oh, I think it should be on.
I just want to say bless you, and here's what I heard a long time ago that helped me somewhat. I still hold on to everything. Can you hear me?
No, it's not on. Oh, is it the other microphone? Here, let's see. Yeah, the green is on. There we are. It wasn't on.
It wasn't all the way on.
Okay.
So sorry. But I heard this wisdom that you ask yourself 3 questions. Is it useful? And do I use it? Because I have a lot of useful stuff, that I should probably get rid of, but is it really useful? Will I ever use it? Is it beautiful? So it enriches my life. And finally, is it something that I just love? And she talked about attachment. Frankly, I wouldn't get rid of things that still bring you joy right now. I just would leave them there. I don't care what happens after you're gone, but if you're still really, if they bring you joy, why release them early unless it's something very special where you see someone else is going to really cherish it, and that's a wonderful thing to do.
I have found some people who appreciate what I give them.
That's wonderful.
Yeah. That makes me feel good.
And I do think that the idea of getting ready to die, and you kind of address this already, but I don't think it's healthy to keep saying that to yourself. Just, brush that idea off. I'm living fully right now, and I'm discovering new homes for some of my things because my heart wants to do that or whatever, but make up a new reason for them.
It
Yes.
depresses me. It really does.
Yeah,
Good.
thanks.
All right. Thank
Thank you.
Okay, everyone, have a beautiful one. What a great way to thank you for sharing that. Thank you. I think that helped a lot of people. I really do. So thank you, everyone. Have a great Wednesday. Good to see you.